What's going on, guys? This is Creamer here, and I'm bringing you a video on why you should get back into New World. The first thing I'll bring up is the main story quest and how it is reworked and so much better, and it gives you a lot more XP. Before, you had to grind town board quests just to get the little XP that you needed to get to level 60, but now the story quest brings you there, and it's not repetitive like before when it felt like you were doing the exact same mission, but you were just fighting the different enemies. Now it's actually a great experience and you're doing different things throughout the game. The second thing I would like to talk about is the XP for life scaling and weapons is increased from before, so it is not such a grind to get to those higher levels. They also added in augments to the game, which I can show you right here, where they have a gathering XP booster, which, like it says, it gives you more XP for gathering. Proficiency booster, which gives you more resources. Season XP booster, that's for the battle pass. And like I said, the weapon XP booster. So the life scaling and weapon is easier now, and they have like a double XP token so that it becomes even easier. So I'll bring up my skills. And so they're very low because this is a new character I made. But as you can see here, my logging is already at 108, and I have not even played that much. Before all these previous patches, getting to 100 was tough, and you had to really grind it out. But I think I got to 100 in about an hour, hour and a half. So it's really not too bad anymore. And it makes it feel more rewarding when you're, just running around cutting trees down instead of progressing like a main story or a side quest. So I can show you here too. If you watch the XP bar go up, I'm at 108, and you can see the XP bar move. And before, if you were at 108 and you hit a tree down, it was like, oh, well, I could barely even see any movement there. Like, I'm not seeing enough movement. It's not progressing. And it was it's pretty disheartening, but now it's actually something worth doing. This one is a mature tree, so I'll get more XP for this one. But as you can see, I moved almost a quarter of the wheel, and I'm so high level already, so it's great. It's a lot better. And as you can see at the bottom left, I'm only level 46, so I'm getting up to the end game right now. But they did just add a new expansion pack that made a new territory called Elysian Wilds, which is level 60 to 65. And that's right, now you can go over 60 and get to 65. So there's going to be some 70 level mobs in that area, but you can get your character to 65 now, which is great because that means there's progression, which means better weapons and better gear, which is basically the reason you play the game, is to make yourself better. So it adds a whole new area to explore. And on top of that, they also added mounts into the game, which I'll show you right now. Boom. So that's my horse. And when you're running around doing stuff, it is a lot easier now because of the horses. And speaking of the horses, right here, there's a race. It's called the rally board. So you do races. Look at this guy. He's doing the race right now. We can follow him. You do races and you try and unlock new perks for the horse. And you actually become faster when you're using the horse by completing these races. I'm gonna let him go do his thing. But if you've played this game before, you know how much running you used to do, and you know now that you don't need to do that because there's mounts. Alright, so now let's talk about upgrading your gear. The way gear used to work before was you had watermarks. So, see this hood right here, it's 450. I need to get something higher than 450 in order to increase the watermark for my hood in order to get better gear. Getting a better watermark for your weapon was never 100% going to happen, and it was hidden, so you couldn't even really see. You just had to remember what you were getting. So at the end game, it's a big grind. You just run around the same area so many times, just trying to get weapons and trying to get your watermark better. But then they added a system called the expertise system, which was basically the watermark system, but you could see it now. And they added these orbs that you could do to upgrade your watermark for one thing. So I could use the orb. I say, all right, I have 440 legs or boots. I want to get 445 boots. So I put the gypsum orb in, and that's how you upgraded. But now you can pretty much take any gear and level it to 700 once you get to the end game using the new content that they've added to the game. So it's a lot better, and it's not RNG to upgrade your gear anymore. And lastly, there is a quote that is attributed to Picasso that says, "Good artists copy, great artists steal." And you might be wondering why I mention this, but it is because I think that New World is a lot like RuneScape. And I think the creators of New World took what RuneScape does best and modernized it and brought it into the 2020s. You might not like the comparison of RuneScape to New World because New World has had a pretty bad rep recently, but when it comes to life scaling, making those levels go up, when it comes to just grinding it out, I think the reason that New World was able to do so good was because they took what RuneScape did best and brought it into their game. And like I said, I only think New World exists because RuneScape set the foundation for them. And a last side note before we go, I just want to talk about how great this game looks. Now, I have all my settings on low, so it's no high effects, nothing. All of them are low. And just look at, I took this screenshot and just look at it. It's just so nice and it just looks great. Those are wordwood trees, and I've thought those are the coolest trees in the game. They have like glowing blue veins on them. And it's just such a beautiful game, and it's really something to immerse yourself into, and you can just be doing so much stuff. You'll never run out of stuff to do. And I think I can attribute that to the new updates they've made, the new quality of life changes they made. And overall, it is just a better experience. But thank you so much for watching, and I hope this might get you to get back into it.